Majuba. We pay homage, it's the Ilajuba. We seek the great spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you, my child, let me speak to your spirit. You warriors calling a little louder, I want you to hear it. Just face it, don't fear it. Your mirror reflection, revere it. Shadow work, you will clear it. Just the seasons will change. You are called to rise. Open your eyes, realize, rearrange. It's not a game, press past through your pain. We are not mediocre nor mundane. You are great now, claim your new name. Break free from the chains. I just want you to see through and see true. See yourself as all of the mind sees you. The God in you, manifest your breakthrough. Standing tall, seeing life from a bird's eye view. While manifesting your Odu. We keep it real, real life and reveal. It's all in me, my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill Majuba. We pay homage, it's the Ilajuba. We seek the great spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you. Just the Ilajuba.
Hey, boy, this is Olu Fakoladev Edinkai Ifa Temple. We thank you for joining us. We welcome you to our Ilajuba Ifa Temple service. I want to start off by saying Happy Black History Month, Happy Black History Month, Happy Black History Month. Thank you all for joining us to our Ifa Temple service, and I'm going to be dedicating our temple services during this month to Black History Month. So I think it's really important to do that anyway. But I want to begin with prayer. So those of you who are near your Ifa. Olodomario. Ifa, we call on the Odu. Ika Meji. Ifa, there's a high wind blowing from this side. There's a serious storm blowing from that side. The heaven is in great turbulence. None knows where the rain will fall. Everyone is running helter-skelter. Rainfall cannot start from the other side for one to suddenly shift to this side. These were Ifa's declarations to our Capo Ope when evangelizing for Ifa around the world. Ifa, don't you see my hand? I had been suffering everywhere because of you. I do not eat until I reach the home of Olu. Ifa, don't you see my hand? Here are my palms, Ifa. I do not drink until I reach Oke Ora. Ifa, don't you see my hand? I have been suffering everywhere because of you. Here are my palms. I neither eat nor do I drink until I reach Oke Geti, the home of Agmarinegu. Ifa, don't you see my hands? Here are my palms. I have been suffering everywhere because of you. Ifa, I have been reliably informed that you put peace and harmony into my life. Ifa, I have been reliably informed that you ensured a peaceful death for Owa Oga, who is also known as Owa Ogiri Ibedu, offspring of those who greet each other with Okunyeye, he who fights and strikes the base of the sword against the ground. Ifa, please ensure a peaceful end for me too. On the day of my death, ensure that good children are available to ride on horses after my departure. Ifa, we ask that you would continue to ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and outright fights. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory, adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success, and all good things of life. Ifa, we call on Oshearola, Oshetra. Tiny are the fetal tube, the stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to use his headgear. Had it been enough to use his headgear, I would have taken his woman on my heritage. Easy for decorations to Aruela. I'm going on spiritual mission to Ejebuli. We call locals and send for money. Consult and make rich. Call Aruela with respect. Oshearola is a good awo. Oshetura. Emma coming many amo. Emma coming many ano. Emma coming many andelokun. Tamole tori ifa loni mi ebora timpaneni. Any banami, I won't see ifa lelejo ifa. Please remove my ego. Move me out of the way so that we can hear good words of ifa from you. Oshetura, akeke ne bagisa. That church up against the tree casifa. For a woman on who sees iba na share from a little more. If an award tells you to be wealthy, surely be wealthy. Akeke ne bagisa. And the mouth of one is Adibana She, and the mouth of an awo. If no church have joy, she'll have joy. I kick in Bagisa, and the mouth of one is Adibana She, and the mouth of an awo. If no church have peace, she'll have peace. I kick in Bagisa, and the mouth of one is Adibana She, and the mouth of an awo. To esti, men so surely shall it be. Ashe orisha lẹ́nu mi, ashe orisha lẹ́nu mi. Gbogbo tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìwé mo lè ó bà. Ìfẹ́ ọba ò àṣòríṣà lẹ́nu mi. Bí mo dúró tí mo súré, bí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí mo súré, bí mo kúnlẹ̀ tí mo súré, bí mo jókòó tí mo súré, ire tí mo sú orí ti bọ́. Orí ẹni làrúra ìyá ni ọ̀, orí ẹni làrúra ìyá ni. Mojulo mi fa wa mori, ori ẹni làrúra ìyá ni. Ẹ ṣé o, bọ̀bọ̀rẹ̀ ṣáàzú, Ifá ọba lọ́run, àti bàtà ajú, Ifá ọba lọ́run, ó ṣe àrùlà Ifá ti bọ́. Olodumare and the divinity, we ask that you will continue to ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off all cases and controversy, ward off all fights, ward off litigation, losses, outright fights from us, ward off evil and danger from us. Help us to hear a word of Ifa. Ashe, Ifa, we call on you. We call on our ancestors at this time. We call on those who walked before us. We call on them. We call on those whose names were forgotten, but whose power was not lost. We call on them. We call on the ancestors. We call on the Irumule. We call on the Orisha. We call on that wisdom that never died. We call them back. Ashe. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Agboto. Before we even begin, I want everyone please to like and share. Please like and share. And also let me know where you're tapping in from. Okay? So let's get into it. So today, folks, I want to be correcting a lie that was told a long time ago, and that lie lived on. And that lie is that our ancestors were waiting and needing to be saved. Our ancestors were not waiting to be saved. However, they are waiting for us to recognize them. They are waiting to be remembered. They are waiting to be restored to their rightful place. Why? And why were our ancestors not waiting to be saved? I want to start with that question. So why is it that our ancestors didn't need any sort of salvation? So, one, our ancestors already had spiritual systems. Our ancestors were not spiritually empty. Our ancestors had Ifa, they have Irumole, they had Orisha worship, they have Egungun traditions. Our ancestors have sacred systems, divine science, divination systems, ethical codes, Iwapuele, Ma'at, priesthood structures, healing cosmologies, ritual calendars. They were not wandering in darkness waiting for the light. They had cosmology, they had theology and metaphysics long before colonialism, long before there was any such thing as a Western civilization. Ifa teaches us that the world is not without order. You don't save a people who already have sacred order. What individuals have done is they have attempted to replace it. Next, our ancestors understood the responsibility, and they understood responsibility for their actions, not salvation from them. The idea of being saved assumes that you are inherently broken, that you are inherently powerless. You need to be rescued from outside of yourself. But our African systems teach us that we choose our destiny. Akunle ba, akunle yan. And you are responsible for your own iwa, your own character. And you must align your ori. You must repair imbalance through ebo, through sacrifice, through discipline and changing of character. And that, my friends, that's not passivity. That is accountability. Our ancestors were not waiting to be rescued. They were cultivating their divine destinies. Next, our ancestors built civilizations. People who are waiting to be saved don't build cities. They don't build trade networks. They don't build universities like Mali and Songhai, Timbuktu. They don't have metallurgy and astronomy and governance systems, art that still survives for centuries, from Ile-Ife to the Oyo Kingdom to the Nak civilization, who were smelting iron in West Africa in 500 BCE. Songhai, Timbuktu, the Benin bronzes, the Nubian architecture, to the Kemetic civilizations that date back over 10 to 20,000 years. That's 20,000 years at least of civilization. And that is putting it modestly. These are not the works of spiritually lost people. Our ancestors were builders, not beggars. They had medicine, and they had medicine and science and herbal systems, midwifery systems, bone setting, spiritual diagnosis, will, ways to look into the person and see what's going on with them. Architecture, agriculture, water systems. Salvation theology implies helplessness. But our ancestors have knowledge. This knowledge often was suppressed, appropriated, and or renamed. Even what survives in the United States, like hoodoo, root work, and grandmother remedies, all of these things are ancestral African retention. The knowledge didn't disappear. It went underground. Why should we reject the idea of salvation or saved narrative? Well, one, the idea that the Africans were waiting to be saved, it helped to justify enslavement. That also helped to justify land theft, cultural erasure, forced conversion, renaming, and psychological domination. If you convince a people that they are spiritually empty, you make conquest sound merciful. Our ancestors were resisting and not waiting. They resisted through revolution and revolt. They resisted through African cultural retention. Even now, even in the Latin American countries, if you look at Santeria, Locumi, Palo Mayombe, Voodoo, all of these are African retention. We owe our ancestors that debt of gratitude for revolt and retaining, because if they didn't retain it then, how would there be Ifa in the United States now? They revolted through coded language and songs, through hidden shrines, through naming practices, through herbal knowledge, through quiet ancestral continuity. The Haitian Revolution of 1791, the Stonewall Rebellion of 1739, the German Coast Uprising of 1811, and the Nat Turner Rebellion in Virginia of 1831, our ancestors were actively resisting and retaining our traditions, working, resisting, retaining. They did not kneel. They didn't bow. They were surviving with memory. The concept of salvation removes ancestral dignity. If our ancestors were lost, then we descended from those who were lost. But Ifa does not teach us shame. Ifa teaches us honor. Ifa teaches ancestral remembrance, restoration, and retention. You don't dishonor your lineage to modernize your identity. You build forward from it. Our ancestors didn't see themselves as broken. Colonization and white supremacy framed dark skin as a curse. Indigenous ritual practices as pagan. Drumming as demonic. Masks as evil. Ancestors as idols. We should be talking about this when we bring up the concept of Eshu is not Satan, because it comes within the same cultural degradation. Our ancestors revered their own ancestors. Our ancestors looked at nature as sacred. Our ancestors saw spirit and matter as intertwined. They saw destiny as a thing to be negotiated and not feared. They didn't see themselves as broken. They were labeled broken. Now let's get into what Ifa teaches. Ifa teaches us correction, not rescue. In Ifa, when imbalance appears, Ifa does not say, wait for someone to save you. Ifa says, offer ebo, change your behavior, repair your character, and realign with destiny. Ifa represents empowerment. Ifa represents giving you power and responsibility, not dependency. Let us analyze this Odu Ifa. It is Ogbekana. Ifa says, the Egungun masquerade is he who uses gloves on his hands to handle the alcohol calabash. The Baraka masquerade is he who uses his stretched hands to grip the sword. When the Bata drummer calls La Bekum, it is La Bekum that the drummer focuses his attention on. These Ifa's decorations to Olofin, who would grow so old, and use monkey meat to offer Ebo. He was advised to offer Ebo. He complied. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of joy. Come and perceive all array of life. There are no more Orisha on earth. We are only propitiating Oju, Oba. Ifa is telling us in this Odu, each force has a proper tool. Each spirit has its proper recognition. Each power responds when it is correctly called. When you call Egungun, you cannot call Egungun and ignore ancestors. You cannot beat a drum and deny who the rhythm belongs to. You cannot speak or seek peace while neglecting the ones who built the house. Olofin was the Oba of Ife, and he ruled well at the beginning. At the beginning, his land was in peace. Everything was good, fine, things were peaceful. The people prospered, but over time, that progress slowed down. It slowed down and then it got down to a sputter and then it stopped. When the progress stopped, chaos ensued. The Olofin began to notice all of this turmoil and he was afraid. He wasn't afraid of death. He was afraid of the legacy that he would leave. He did not want to meet his ancestors with a story of failure. He did not want to say, I inherited order from you and left confusion. So he went for Ifa consultation. And Ifa revealed Ogbe Karan. And the Babalawo told him plainly, the land is in chaos. Not because the ancestors are weak, but because the people had abandoned them. The ancestors were forgotten. The shrines were neglected. The relationship was broken. Hear me clearly, folks. Forgetting ancestors creates disorder. Neglecting your origins produces confusion. This was not a problem of salvation. This is a problem of disconnection. When Ifa says there are no more Orisha on earth, when Olofin went to the ancestral sites, what he discovered was something terrifying. There are no more Orisha on earth. We are only propitiating Ojubo, excuse me. What does this mean? It means that Orisha had withdrawn. They were not destroyed, not defeated. They just withdrew because power does not remain when it is not honored. The Ebo and the monkey. Ifa instructed Olofin to use monkey meat. Why monkey meat? Well, monkey see, monkey do. Because the monkey sees and imitates. Because the monkey has eyes that observe. Because restoration begins with sight. You gotta see it. The Babalawo placed the eyes of the monkey on the abandoned shrines. Oju is eyes. Obo is monkey. Ojubo. And when the eyes were placed, the ancestors were seen again. The Orisha were recognized again. And when they were recognized, they returned. This sacred pun of Oju Obo is also Ojubo, Ijubo, That is no coincidence. Oju Obo is the eyes of the monkey, and it becomes Ojubo, and that is the sacred place in the home where the Orisha and the ancestors are honored. What is Ifa saying? When we see our ancestors again, we create sacred space and we restore balance. So salvation did not bring peace, recognition did. The message for today essentially is our ancestors were not waiting to be saved. What they are is waiting for us to remember them. They're waiting for us to call them correctly. They're waiting for us to restore the shrines. They're waiting for us to honor our lineages and then maintain that relationship. Chaos is proof of ancestral failure. Chaos is the evidence of ancestral neglect. Olofin and Ogbekana corrected the relationship. He entered the ancestral realm. And because he did this, peace returned, order returned, and his legacy was healed. So now the question comes to us is, what report will you bring to your ancestors when you return? Ifa is very clear. Ancestors do not run from their children. Orisha and the Irumolek do not hide from those who honor them. When relationship is restored, destiny is restored as well. Our ancestors were not waiting to be saved. They are waiting to be seen. When we see this, we understand that all that we are needing is the honor and recognition of our ancestors. When these things are forgotten, wisdom withdraws. Our ancestors were not waiting at the shore for slave ships, to give them salvation. They were standing in their own shrines, standing in alignment with their own oris, living inside of their own spiritual systems of order. Our ancestors were not waiting to be saved. Aboru Aboye. I want to make sure that people understand that we're here to do that same work. We're here to restore the balance. Thank you. So I want to make a couple of announcements. We have offered a bowl for Itarogun. Itarogun will be coming once again soon. I believe if not this coming week, the following week. So please stay tuned for that. Also, we'll be having Ifa classes that'll be coming up next week. So if you are interested, please communicate. And those people who are interested in learning and studying Ifa, we have what is called the Omoawo program. The Omoawo program is a program where we teach Ianifa, Awo, Babalawo to do the rituals, the ethics, all of these things. And they're sorely so needed within our culture at this time. So please, if you are interested, you can contact me. We're starting a new group this February. Let me acknowledge those individuals who have tuned in. Aboru Aboye, good to see you. Good to see you. Aboye to James Gatbaki, I believe. Shishe Aboto, I think that's in Kosi. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. All right. Chloe Dior, excuse me. Good to see you. Ed Cairo, good to see you. Ashe Holistic Health, thank you for joining us. All right. Okay, from Kansas City, good to see you. All right, and Durham. Shout out to Durham, South Carolina. All right, Ashe, we didn't have the chains of Christ and colonialism. We didn't see ourselves as sinners. Right, Ashe. All right, Fua, good to see you. Aboye, thank you so much. All of those folks on TikTok, we thank you for joining us today as well. Also, if you like what we're doing, if this is rich and beneficial to you, please also like and share. Okay, tapping in from Orlando. Okay, if you value the things that we're saying, value the things that we're doing, please, please, please like and share, as well as donate. If you would like to see this Ifa ministry continue on, please, please, please support what we're doing as we support our community. We'll be tapping in with you once again next Sunday with another good topic that will follow along the lines of Black History Month and the structure of that. I feel like it's necessary for us to involve our ancestors in our Ifa worship because, to be honest with you, our ancestors are the ones who brought us to this, right? Our ancestors brought us to Ifa, and we need to be honoring them. Shoot, they need to be honored in Africa as well. So, thank you. With that, let us close. Olodumare, please support us. Please come, ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses in our fights. Please support us and help us to completely understand that our ancestors were not waiting to be saved. And since they were not waiting to be saved, neither are we. We know that Olodumare gives us wisdom and gives us discernment and the ability to make the right choice. Help us to choose wisely and choose to find, follow, and fulfill our destinies. Thank you once again. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboto.